What's going on? Welcome back to another video today. Hope you guys are doing well. Sorry, my audio wasn't working there, but yeah, let's get straight into the charts, because right now for Bitcoin, we can see that this 50,600 level was the level I was speaking about for the last couple of weeks, and I was saying that this is the last level of defense, and also we can see that Bitcoin is actually breaking down this level. So you can see we've had this push like this, quite a nice move, and then we actually broke this level quite strongly within today. So I do think that it's possible to see more downside. We could potentially see like low 40s, potentially like these areas here. It's not looking too good for Bitcoin at this point. So for me, I'd rather just wait for price to, we're going to have to wait and see if price can obviously hold this level here. This is going to be the most important level to hold, this 50,600. If price can hold this level, then we're probably going to see a temporary bounce. So like right now, we are seeing a bit of a push a little bit higher. If you look at the lower time frame, like the 4-hour, you can see that we created a nice wick to the downside, took out, even when as low as 49K, literally 48,900, and then we actually pushed back above that point. So overall, it does look like we will see a temporary bounce, because the market's really oversold right now. And you can see that if we have a look at this chart right over here, it's not looking too good, to be honest with you. So for my setups for the day, what I'll be waiting for is I'd wait for price to obviously, you can see we're still holding this volume profile right over here. So this is going to be, let's have a look here. We can make this yellow. Okay, so this level here, what I'm going to watch for is price obviously needs to close above this point. And I do think that we can come up a little bit higher, back up to 54,600. I do think it's possible. Something like this, we could potentially look for a long back up to this point. But overall, it's not looking good for Bitcoin at this point. You can see that right now, the level that we need to obviously maintain is this level here, which is at 50,600. If we lose that level, we can potentially come as low as these levels here, 40,000. But I don't think that's we will come as low as that level. I do think that we might just come back to like 46, 47K. So overall market not looking good. To be honest with you, at these levels, for me right now, I'm just gonna be patient, because you can't really open up any positions here. You need a little bit of confirmation. But you can see that there's a whole bunch of liquidation. So if we do have a look at the liquidation heat map, let's have a look here. I mean, it's crazy. You can see the amount of liquidations was insane. So we had around about over 1 billion worth of liquidations in the last couple of hours. So let me show you. Let me just grab this. I think it's here we go. So longs in the last 1.07 billion worth of liquidations in the last 24 hours, which is I think it's one of the biggest liquidation events that we've had in a while since that 2020 crash. So I do think that it's possible to see a lot more downside. Because obviously the market right now, there's a whole bunch of things happening. The Israel to Iran war potential. The Japanese yen is skyrocketing, the potential recession, potential 50 basis cuts within this month or the next couple of months. So it's, right now the market is obviously in a extreme fear, right? So basically, if we have a look at this, we can see that, we're sitting at 26. So a couple of days ago, here we go. Let me have a look and see the most recent. So we're almost in extreme fear. We're basically in extreme fear. So this is like the levels you should be looking at to accumulate for like the altcoins and Bitcoin. But to be honest with you, I do think that we can come a little bit lower. You can see that the last couple of days have just been really bearish. Since the 70,000 level, Bitcoin has dropped around about 25%, which is quite crazy. So I do think that it's possible to obviously come down a little bit lower. because we actually did take out most of the liquidity to the downside, which means that we could potentially see a little bit of a buy up from this point. But yeah, for me right now, I'm just gonna be staying patient because I don't see any clear setups. But I will be going over a couple charts here just to show you what I expect is going to happen. So you see Floki's down, Pepe, yeah, Pepe also. Hmm. Yeah, I mean Pepe doesn't look good either. You know, right now we also at a clear level. So if we have a look at this, let's have a look at the 4-hour. Okay, so for me, for Pepe, what do I need to wait for? I mean, we obviously tapped into the support over here. This is a strong level, and we are seeing we're seeing a little bit of a bounce here, but nothing crazy. So for me, yeah, I don't think like taking buys right now is going to be the play. Like I do think that we might see a little bit more downside during New York session. But yeah, Pepe is not looking good. There's nothing really we can do there. 1 inch. Let's have a look at 1 inch here. Yeah, I mean 1 inch is at pretty much. We had that massive breakout over here. That's where I took some profits for 1 inch. But I mean, if we look at like on the 4-hour on the daily, let's have a look at the daily. Let's have a look here. So we're currently sitting at a support right now. I mean, we can come a little bit lower here. 0.2336. Yeah, I think this for 1 inch, like this is the level where you want to be looking to accumulate. So like right now, it's at one of the strongest levels. You can see that this is the weekly support. I mean, if it loses this level, there's not much left for 1 inch. So overall, it does look like we're probably going to see a bit of a move, a bit of a bounce. So I'm looking to take a long here for 1 inch actually. Yeah, the problem is you have to be careful at these levels because the thing is Bitcoin's still kind of looking a little bit bearish. But 1 inch, if you want to accumulate, this would be a good level to accumulate at this level because 1 inch still has a huge target range. I'm looking to potentially see 1 inch back at these highs within the next bull run. I mean, within the next like leg up. So I do think that it's possible for that to happen. But right now, it's just looking like we are still coming down. But yeah, for me to actually take a long here for 1 inch, I'm probably just gonna wait for this to break. So I'm gonna have an alert right over here. Okay, so I'm gonna have an alert there for 1 inch. Aave, let's have a look at Aave. So Aave broke out, and then it was looking kind of bullish for Aave, but I mean right now it's literally sitting back at the support. So this would have been the ideal level to place it along. Yeah, I think for Aave, the only play right now is just, I mean, if you didn't catch this long at this point over here, then it's possible just to see, yeah, we might just see a potential bounce from this point. You can see most charts are kind of looking the same, forming this little bit of a V-shape structure, potential recovery, because the market's really, really oversold. So I do think that it's possible for a potential bounce here for Aave. But yeah, let's see. So we're just gonna have an alert there as well. Cardano. Yeah, I mean Cardano is pretty much at the lows. I don't want to look at that. It just doesn't look great. Ape's pretty much at a level as well that we can't really do much. But yeah, let's see. I mean, Ape's pretty much at an all-time low. ARB also at an all-time low. Like everything is pretty much, yeah, I mean, the whole market's absolutely crazy, guys. Like Atom's at an all-time low pretty much also. AVAX is coming back down to the $18 mark. I mean, AVAX was sitting at $63 within the last couple of weeks. So now, I mean, the best play for AVAX is, let's have a look here. Okay, so let's see. We need a 0.786. Yeah, I think AVAX could bounce from this point, to be honest with you guys. This would probably be the level I would be looking at to long AVAX, because this is the 0.786 level from the previous high. And if you look at the daily time frame, if we look a little bit left here, this is a key level for AVAX. Yeah, I would expect a little bit of a bounce from this point. But I mean, the market right now, like, kind of just in a tough situation. There's a potential for a recession, and yeah, overall the market's just looking a little bit tough. So yeah, like I said, for the other positions I was looking at in the beginning, kind of just going to stay on the waiting game right now. You know, I want to see if there's a potential. I mean, there's not much volume pushing to the upside right now, so there's no indication to just go straight long over here, because we're obviously bouncing from that point. So I want to see a break of this high. Okay, so AVAX is on my radar. So we're gonna add that to the look for along there. I mean, look at Axie as well. Axie's back to all-time low. It's crazy. Bitcoin Cash, big time. Yeah, look at BNP. I mean, do you guys remember BNP went to 700 and then now it's sitting at 447? So yeah, I think everything's just absolutely crashed. The thing right now for what we have to, you can see also here, guys, it's looking like Bitcoin dominance is at an all-time high. Not all-time high, sorry, back up to 57. And yeah, it looks like there might be a little bit more downside for the altcoins. We do have a bit of, yeah, look over here. This is a level 58.11 is where I'd probably look to maybe long some altcoins. So I do think that it's possible for Bitcoin to come a little bit higher here at this point. So we're looking at a little bit of an increase here back, another 1% increase for Bitcoin dominance. And then once that happens, I do think that the altcoins could potentially bounce. So just be careful right now with just opening long positions or even opening shorts. I think it's just the market right now is just at a critical stage. If you guys did miss the Bitcoin analysis, what I was saying was I said that in my analysis this morning, I said that 49,600 was a level to long. This was the level to long. You can see that it's up 6% from that point. So yeah, I mean, it's down 9% on the day, but it's up 6% from that point where I said, yeah. So I think overall right now is just have to wait because the market is pretty much really oversold. Bitcoin is forming a bit of a downward sloping trend line over here, right over here. It looks like it wants to break out, but I mean, this is not for sure. The market structure is just really bad at this point. But I do think that there is potential for a little bit of a bounce back up to 54K. So yeah, just be careful to see what happens. Dogecoin, have a look at Dogecoin. Yeah, so Dogecoin pretty much back at the lows. Yeah, I mean, right now, let's have a look here. Yeah, so Dogecoin can come a little bit lower here, probably looking at 0.08. Yeah, we actually tapped into that level today. So yeah, I think right now I wouldn't look to long anything. at this point. Like I said, guys, we have to just wait for price to obviously see some type of reaction to the upside, because if we don't see that, we could potentially just come all the way down. Dot's pretty much dead as well. Have a look at that. I was actually looking for this break to be really, really bullish for dots, but I mean dots at pretty much the lowest level it's been since it came out. So yeah, buying dot from this point is definitely a good investment. I would probably look at that as a good investment, to be honest with you. This would be the only level really to go for dot. Yeah, so buying dot share looks really, really good. So have a look at that. ENA. Not much. Ethereum kind of looks good as well. Like I said, for all these charts, guys, we have to wait for price to break above these levels. So essentially, as long as price stays below this point over here, most charts are actually trading below the point of control. So we need price to obviously break above this point, wait for a retest, and then we look for longs, because we need some sign of relief, right? So right now, I'm kind of just waiting for that sign. So for me to actually get like position, I want to see a break, retest, and then long. Okay, so that's for ETH. Filecoin back at the lows. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Filecoin literally. Yeah, so it bounced from the daily support, the 1 hour as well bouncing. Yeah, I mean, I think you can't really go wrong if you're buying spot from these points, guys, to be honest with you. Even Phantom, I was looking at Phantom earlier, it's completely dead. We broke such key levels. H bar as well. I mean, I believe in H bar as a coin. I really love this project. And you can see right now, this was the key level. It tapped into the zone and then we're seeing a bounce. So I do think that it's possible to see bounces, guys. And I do think that now is a good time to start looking for spot entries. You can see H bar kind of breaking above here, looking good. I'm actually going to take this long for H bar like this. I'm going to take it from the current price, stop loss just below this low over here. Okay, so I'm going to take this long here for H bar. Take profit's going to be at this level over here. I like how this is holding above the point of control. Yeah, so this is going to be the setup for a trade now. Like I said, guys, most coins are looking relatively bad. H bar is kind of holding up. We had a little bit of a breakout here. I just want to see if this will play out. It's not the best position, but it's a good position because we are obviously holding above this point of control, and there was quite a lot of buyback from this low, right? So that's a good indication that we can potentially see a little bit of upside for H bar comparatively to most other coins. But yeah, I think right now this is the only coin that's actually looking decent. Let's have a look at some other coins. So yeah, I am long on H bar here. Have a look at WorldCoin. I remember WorldCoin, that bear flag that played out perfectly. WorldCoin's back at the lows as well, pretty much back at the lows. So everything right now is just it's just not looking good. TIA also kind of holding back. TI had a massive run up. I remember this level, and then we had that massive meltdown. So for me, TI is just, I don't really like it as a coin, as an investment. I don't see the value of it. So I don't really want to trade that. Yeah, I mean USDT dominance closed above the level. So I was speaking about this level as well yesterday. So I was saying that if we can close above this level over here, it's really strong. And you can see right now we are coming into quite a strong resistance from this point right over here. So I want to see if price can obviously break above that point. If price can't break above that point, then we're probably going to see a temporary bounce for crypto. But yeah, the daily time frame is currently at resistance. So I do think that we could potentially see a little bit of longs in the market right now, just for like a temporary bounce. So yeah, this is like the only setup I've got for now. If you guys did miss the analysis at the beginning, I did actually. Wouldn't you check Bitcoin? Yeah, let me have a look at Bitcoin. I did look at Bitcoin in the beginning. I'll go over it again now. So basically, for Bitcoin, what I'm waiting for now is basically what we have on the daily time frame. Like I was saying, this is the last level, right? We literally broke through this point over here. We broke through this level over here at the support, and now this 50K level is going to be the last level of defense for Bitcoin. And honestly, I think that we can go lower for Bitcoin. There's a whole bunch of liquidity sitting at these levels here. But for the short term time frame, I'm looking at a potential setup for Bitcoin. You can see that we are holding above this point of control. So I'm waiting for like a little bit of a breakout over here, and we can take a long back up to this point. Yeah, to be honest with you, it's not the best setup. So I'm not gonna just take it. I'm just gonna see how this plays out. I wanna obviously wait for price to break above this trend line, because right now there's just nothing we can do in the market. I just don't see. It's very risky, to be honest with you, to be trading. But like I said, there's a couple coins that are looking like it will bounce. So yeah, just be careful. Just be careful. Yeah, you can see here, even on the 5 minutes, it's kind of holding. It's creating like a little range right now. So I want to see like a nice little break, and then a nice retest, and then we look for longs. Okay. But yeah, this is my trade that I'm currently in for HBAR. Like I said, HBAR is pretty much the only coin that's looking decent for long. Yeah, so I am long on HBAR right now. Stop loss just below this point of control. I'm using a 10x leverage. I'm using a 10x leverage on the setup. Yeah, but I do think that it's one of the better setups because HBAR has been strong. You can see that it did obviously dump really hard, but yeah, we've recovered quite nicely. So I like that there's a potential break over here. We had this little breakout retest. Yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, it's not the best setup. If you want to take the setup, you can. It's more of just a breakout retest, back up to these highs. Yeah. So let's see what happens. But it's also Bitcoin. Like we have to wait for Bitcoin to break out over here. We need Bitcoin to break above this high, retest, and then we can look for longs. But as long as Bitcoin goes sideways today, I do think that HBAR has potential to do something. I do think that it has potential to do something. But yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I think that H bar is like the only setup that that can really move today, to be honest with you. I've been looking at a whole bunch of other ones. Yeah, but just there's not much else. Even on the 5-year. Let's see what happens. TP1 is going to be at 0.05135. TP2 at 0.05436. Stop loss is at 0.04943. Okay. Those are the only setups I've got right now. It's just H bar I'm long on. I think that H bar has potential. Like I said, for Bitcoin's not really at a level I want to be longing right now. But as long as it stays above this point, it should be good to continue a little bit higher. Like I said, we can come back up to these highs over here. So there's a potential for that. But yeah, the only setup I'm really in right now is H bar. Okay. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. H bar does look quite good here. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let me know how you guys are today. Hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, this is the only setup that we are currently in. To be honest with you, there's not much else. There's not many other setups. Like obviously Bitcoin just waiting for a potential break, but yeah, I think right now Bitcoin's at no position to look at any longs or anything like that. I think this is the only coin that I've seen that has potential recovery. So yeah, I did take a long here for HBAR. So let's see what happens. But yeah, the only setup that I'm only going to be taking today is probably this setup. And if Bitcoin can break this level on the 15-minute time frame, so like here, if Bitcoin can break above this point over here, then I do think that we could potentially see upside. But as long as price stays above, what is this level here? It's 52,600. That's going to be the key zone for this position. So as long as Bitcoin stays above this point, HBAR does have potential to move a little bit higher. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, because it's pretty much the only coin that has, well, the only one that I've seen. If we have a look to bubbles, let's have a look here. Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. When last have you seen this, guys? Yo. Aave 24%, FAL, HNT, LDO, on the month. Yeah, I can check the month. HBAR on the FET, everything's down. I mean, if you pick a coin now, like literally, like think about it. If you had to pick any random coin from this chart here, like Rendar, for example, and you bought it now, and you waited 2 years later, like it would literally be such a good investment. So what I'm thinking is, you know, you should look at the market in like a macro and a higher time frame point of view. And honestly, right now, taking any of these coins is a good investment. For like personally, I think that any coin that you look at here and you bought it right now, I mean, we're looking at most coins are down almost 70% from the year. Actually, like if we actually have a look at the year, so okay, like some coins, like let's say autumn. Let's have a look here. Let's just look at the week, for example. Okay, for the week, like, so let's just say you bought WIF 1 week ago, you would be 52% down. So what I'm saying is, if you had to buy any of these coins now, you would be like, for Solana, you would be 30%, 37% more of a advantage, right? Because if you bought Solana last week, then you would be 37% down on that trade. So just think about it from the high time frame perspective, right? So like I said, don't obviously just choose a coin randomly. Like I said, shouldn't do that. But I'm saying if you had to choose any random coin here now, it would be potential for a potential bounce. So like I said, for Bitcoin, guys, you know, the last level of defense is going to be this level here at 50,600. If we lose that zone, then I do think that it's possible to come down lower. There's just too much macro happening in the market. There's just a lot of people, a lot of fear in the market. Like the fear and greed index is literally sitting at almost a all-time low for this year. So I do think that's right now in the market. It's just no one's really. Everyone's everyone's sad and they're a bit scared to jump into this type of market. So just be careful with that, because I do think that, I mean, this does tell you what's happening I mean, if you had to actually just buy the fear right now and then sell it once it's over here, that's a good strategy. So that's what I'll be doing. I do think that there's a lot of coins that are literally sitting at good entries. But yeah, like I said, only long on H bar. Because if we look at H bar on the weekly, it tapped our zone this morning, potential bounce zone. So I do think that we could bounce from the zone. This is pretty much the only level H bar has left. If H bar does lose the zone, then yeah, it's pretty much dead. So, and I don't think H bar is gonna die like in terms of this bull market. I think H bar has a lot of potential. You can see what it does in a day. You can see this massive pump over here. So just be careful. Yeah, so I'm long here for H bar. I do think that it's pretty much the only position that kind of looks good. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I want to see if we can get a potential push here. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream now. I do appreciate everyone joining today. Yeah, like I said, welcome to the stream. If you guys did enjoy it, we have our TPs on the chart. We have our stop loss on the chart. So make sure you guys put those in before you enter any type of trade. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone joining. And yeah, thanks again. See you guys next time.